Good morning. It's the start of our final week in class, and we are wrapping up all the activities for the class. December 8th is the last day of class, so everything for that is still outstanding, like the LMS assignment 2, well, that must be in by December 8th if you're late on that. Also, other activities or anything that you wanted credit for in the class, although the class doesn't give credit for anything that's more than 2 weeks late, so be aware of that as well. That's in the syllabus. Anyway, it's a new week and we're learning a little bit more. We're just kind of extending our understanding a little bit about learning management systems. So this week you'll look at some readings, and they'll talk about how you can use different types of systems for a learning management system that maybe weren't intended for that purpose in the beginning when they were created, such as Facebook. Some people use Facebook, kind of interesting idea, learning with Instagram and Snapchat for education. It's kind of an interesting take on some of these new social media tools and how they might be used as a learning management system, quote unquote, because they can be used to communicate some of the same things that you might use for a learning management system to communicate. So those will be the final readings for the semester, and then looking forward to, you'll look at a few presentations on different activities that can be done outside of an LMS. So again, sometimes an LMS and they have been criticized this way, it's a little bit too restricted, right? Once it's over, you can't view any of the class materials anymore. You can't go back to an old class and see what they've put on it. You can't do certain things with an LMS that you would hopefully be able to do. And so what they're going to talk about in these videos is just different ideas like PLE as a personal learning environment or a professional learning environment, depending on how you say it. And it can become an opportunity for you to people to learn using the different resources available to them, but not necessarily within an LMS. So it's kind of an interesting idea. And I think whatever field you are in, it's good to have the opportunity to learn, to grow, even if you're out of school and no longer in an educational situation. So these will talk about how that works and compare learning management systems with personal learning environments and other opportunities for learning that are outside of your schooling. And we've looked at that a little bit last week with OER and MIT in particular. And then finally, you'll present or talk about, maybe not present, but discuss a lesson learned from this week. So we have several people already posting on that, which is nice. Hopefully you can see all those and post about, reflecting back on the semester, what is a general concept that you feel has influenced you or impressed you from this class? And I think that's always good to reflect back on a class, kind of have that opportunity. Now, once you're done with those things, you are finished with the class as long as you've got everything in as far as assignments are concerned. Really is our final week. It's kind of finals week at Northern as well, although that starts in a day or two. So, yeah, I think that's about it. This will be my last recorded lesson for the semester as well, just getting you finished with this last class. Now, one thing I did want to go back and clarify was about open educational resources. So last week in the discussion, you went through and looked at MIT's OpenCourseWare site, and we have a lot of good comments on that. Here's the site. One thing that I wanted to clarify was that OER, or Open Educational Resources, are just that. They're just resources. So it's not claiming to be a class. It's not claiming to be an educational experience necessarily. It's just claiming to provide resources. And so that's one thing I wanted to clarify, that the movement itself does not claim to be, the top educational experience for students or learning engagement or interaction and so forth. It just claims to provide materials that people can use. And so that's a very big difference than MOOCs. We talked about MOOCs earlier in the semester. MOOCs do claim to provide a learning experience, a quality learning experience to many, many people. but open educational resources are just put out there as resources. So there's a difference there, and I hope you can see the difference. MOOCs can kind of say this is a course, this is a learning experience, you're going to gain the knowledge that you are supposed to gain. Open educational resources, here are resources. Maybe you can use these for something useful. And as we talked about it in the discussion last week, I think there were some good comments about how, yeah, OER are great and they're useful for people to be able to go back and view. But it's not like your full course. It's just let's provide materials, let's provide learning materials to people. I think really when we think about the audience for open educational resources such as those at MIT's OpenCourseWare site, I really think the audience is people with some specialized knowledge. It's not really, you're not going to find an audience of people who are disadvantaged educationally for these works. It's not going to work for the person who is uneducated and needs an education. Instead, it's going to be more about people who have some kind of advanced degree or a degree in the area and want to continue to increase their knowledge. And I actually think that one of these main audiences that you'll find is college professors actually, and high school teachers. But any kind of teacher of these concepts, I think, is going to be the main audience for these types of materials because, again, they have some specialized knowledge. But why would they be seeking this out? Well, they want to increase their knowledge maybe, or check their knowledge against someone else in the field who maybe have some expertise as well. So it's not really, as far as my mind is concerned anyway, it's not really fulfilling the promise of helping those people who are disadvantaged, but it could be helping people who may be disadvantaged at further educational opportunity after having gained some. So that's my take on OER. Okay, well, I think that's about everything for this week, so have a great week and good luck finishing out the class.